Good morning. We've just docked here in the beautiful city of Lyon. This is the last stop on our Rhone River cruise. And while Lyon isn't an undiscovered city, as some that we've shown you already, there are many treasures that are yet to be discovered because its history is so significant. And I'm not talking dates and boring facts, but it's north-south, the axis, east-west, the critical strategic point to the Romans. And the Renaissance came first in France to Lyon, but today it's known for food. Luckily, we have an expert guide whose specialty is food to share some of the hidden treasures, to share some of those small moments that we know make the biggest memories. So let's go meet our guide, Christiane. Christiane.
Jean.
Thank you for joining us.
You're very welcome. It's a pleasure.
Oh,
welcome
it's lovely
to
What is the French greeting?
Bonjour, bienvenue
Bonjour.
à Lyon.
Ah, that much I should have known.
Of course.
Are you a native Lyonnaise?
I have to be honest, I was born in Corsica.
You and Napoleon.
Same city, I was born, but not same year. Of course, here.
Well, we appreciate you showing us so much of Lyon.
It's my pleasure.
And your expertise, I know, is food, so I look forward to tasting it as well as smelling it. But you told me you have a little story to share this beautiful statue.
It's absolutely, you're right. It's a beautiful statue. It's a representation of the human nature. When we see the first time, we have the feeling that it's just someone who saves someone else. And in fact, no, it's the representation of the human nature, as we all have a good side and a side more complex, even sometimes a dark side. And this man is carrying himself, he's carrying his good side and his dark side. And it makes sense because if you have a look this way, we are just in front of the building which was the courthouse, and now it's the criminal court. Makes sense?
It's beautifully stated
Absolutely.
In a statue.
Very
I like
classical.
that.
Absolutely, yes.
I'm carrying the weight of my bad side, but
I do the same. That's why I have a
this-
backpack.
Maybe not this morning. Where next?
We go to the food market because it's the time now. It's 9 o'clock. It's the perfect time of the day to enjoy the food market.
Oh, I can't
go.
wait. Thank you.
You're welcome. In fact, it's a market we have here every morning from Tuesday to Sunday. Local people love this market and they come, especially during the week it's a little bit quiet, and then Saturday and Sunday it's busy and people come here. They have also to have a glass of wine with a dozen of oysters.
A dozen oysters.
Oh, it's nice.
Okay, maybe tomorrow we're still here.
You should try.
Could I purchase some
Of
of the
course,
lilies to
of
take
course.
back to the ship? They smell much stronger than our lilies.
Monsieur, bonjour.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Est-ce qu'on pourrait vous prendre quelques fleurs, s'il vous plaît?
Avec plaisir.
Toi?
3-10 Ouais. Allez. Bien fermé comme ça
You close, open.
Peut-être l'ouvert. I'm fluent.
Oh, good.
They do smell so much stronger
I agree.
than I'm used to at home.
agree.
Oh, merci. Combien? Oh, merci. Christiane, cheese is my passion, and I know a little bit, but not much beyond brie. Tell me your favorites or what's local and what should I try?
Alors, I'm glad because it's my passion too. I love cheese. I can recommend to try the Comté. Comté is a fantastic cheese. There's different age for the Comté, and if you want, you can try a young one and one more mature.
Oh, that would be fun
Let's ask
if he
the
wouldn't
gentleman
mind.
to prepare something for us. Bonjour monsieur, est-ce qu'on pourrait goûter s'il vous plaît deux comtés, donc un comté jeune et un comté 30 mois.
Le comté jeune, c'est un comté.
Jeune, I understand, is
That
young.
is young. In fact, with the cheese, the thing which is really fantastic is the taste will change all the time.
Merci.
And if it's young, you have a taste which is more fresh here. And then when it's more mature, merci monsieur. It's a pleasure.
And this is local.
It's absolutely local.
Ah, very good.
Local from the area called the Jura, which is, it's not made in Lyon, but it's sold in Lyon.
Ça, c'est le...
It's more mature. In fact, it's 30 months aged.
30-month aged.
So you have a taste of Hazelnut, merci.
Better than wine, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
For me, c'est meilleur que le vin.
It's delicious.
It is, I prefer the older, the aged.
Same for me. Same for me. It's a different taste, and it depends on the palate here. Sometimes when you do a light lunch, hey, let's go for a young Conti, and when you want to do something more precious.
More precious.
Yes.
I like that.
It's the Conti
I would
30
like
months.
to buy some
free.
of the more precious cheese.
Feel free because it's really good. It's really good.
I want un petit
Un
de
petit-
la.
I'll let you practice your French.
No.
Allez, let's go. Let's go. You do a good job.
Je voudrais plus petit. Merci, c'est parfait. That's the extent of my.
Yeah, it's
you're putting me
good.
on the spot.
You're very good.
I'm set with flowers, cheese.
Perfect.
What would you like to show me next?
Hidden secrets.
I asked for hidden secrets.
let's go.
Thank you, sir.
You're very welcome.
Christian,
Oui.
ça c'est le théâtre.
C'est cela, Jean. J'adore quand tu parles français. J'adore.
I try, but I don't understand a lot. So
Okay.
in English, tell me, it reminds me of Opera Garnier in Paris.
Yes. In fact, it's a theater which was built not by Garnier, but in the 1880s.
So contemporaneously.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's the third one which was built in the same spot because the first one was built in the 1780s, 1790s. There's a fire in the first theater. The reason is we have candles instead of electricity, so it was demolished. And then after we have another one, same story, fire, and this is the third one which is still alive.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful outside and beautiful inside also because it's very Italian, you know, with red seats. It's fantastic.
Now, I can't leave here without mentioning the obvious. What is
That's
this?
why I bring you here. It's a periscope.
A periscope. Which,
Just to tease the people to see what we have inside. And please have a look.
but a periscope like a submarine.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm looking reverse from a submarine.
Exactly. And now,
There's a lot of floating objects.
absolutely. In fact, it's something we don't understand really. We want to go, and this is where we want to go now.
This is where we want to go. I don't understand. Let's head.
Let's go. We are almost arrived.
I'm not too impressed.
So far, makes sense. 3 more seconds.
3
2,
more seconds.
1. Here we are. Ta-dam.
Oh, it's gorgeous. And it's like an amphitheater.
In fact, it looks like a beehive.
It does.
And the inspiration for the two architects who worked on the project was the old well designed in Italy, in Tuscany, with the donkey trails to catch the water deeper below.
And I see the water.
Exactly. And the idea, as there's not a lot of space, it's very efficient here because you have one ramp which goes down and then you park your car, and one ramp which goes up, and the final result is a piece of art.
I can guarantee it's the first car park that we want to highlight. It is gorgeous. Thank you for finding
You're
something hidden I'd have
very
never
welcome.
found.
And if I may add, you see the stripes here?
Yes.
You have the same here on your shirt.
I'm trying to be apropos, but
Oh,
it could be cultural approbation. I'm not sure.
I'm sure you are. And this is a signature of Daniel Buren, very famous French designer you know very well.
Yes.
And he did in Paris the little column in the Royal Palace, black and
Yes. Oh, the
white.
columns all through the Royal
Abso-
Palais
absolutely,
courtyard.
Absolutely, yes.
Christiane,
Yes.
I hate to interrupt our tour, but can I drop these off at the
Of
ship
course, I
and
understand.
make room for the silk shopping?
Yeah, of course, of course. Allez, let's go. So, Jean, now we are in the old section. And you know the old section is very famous for the passageways. You heard about?
La Traboule.
La Traboule, exactement.
Traboule.
And I will show you one of these passageways. Behind the door.
Do we knock?
No, I have something.
A secret code. You took
Here
me
we
literally
are.
with a secret code.
I told you that this is the secret passageway.
I like secrets.
Allez, are you ready to travel to the 1500?
I think I'm there.
Yeah, don't be
I think the spiders may
scared.
have come from there.
They are from the 1500 also.
Oh.
Alors, now we are almost arrived to the other side of the passageway here. Here we are. Now you are in the 1500.
I'm walking through to another century. It is stunning. Is this how I would have felt if I was coming to Lyon from Paris to buy silk
Absolutely.
in the 1500s?
Yes, because the architecture did not move as we moved the city center. So the view you have here, it's more or less the same as the view in the 15 and 1600. And I can just add something. You can see how tall are the buildings.
They're very tall
Yeah.
for the 1500s.
You have the skyscrapers of the 1500.
I've overused it, but it's breathless to be able to open one door, walk through a passageway, open another, and step in to the 1500s.
I can understand. When I was young, I lived in this district, and every morning when I walked on the street, I had the feeling that I walked in the 15 and 1600. And it still works.
I'm a student of Henry VIII, so I do know a little about Francois Premier.
He was a fantastic king for us.
And I can imagine them preparing for the field of the cloth of gold here.
You know that François Ier, he wanted to move the capital of France from Paris to Lyon.
He did. Why?
Because he loved Lyon. Lyon in that time was a city very attractive. The lights were focused on the city because easy access, a lot of trade. It's the capital of the French book printers here. So it was a real evolution.
Oh, the book printers.
Yeah, the book printers, they came from Germany, and Lyon
Because
became
of the access.
because of the access.
It makes sense.
Absolutely.
But Lyon didn't win.
No, but finally it's better. We have less stress.
We can't call it undiscovered, as I said earlier, but we can certainly call it beautifully preserved.
It is, and in fact it was, I have to be honest, it was a district in very bad conditions, and as there's a potential of architecture behind the dust, it was the first French preserved district.
In all of France.
In all France. It was in the early 1960s. From the 1970s we started the renovation. Nobody wants to come here. 1970s, oh no, I don't want to live in the old Lyon. Now it costs a fortune. I think in English you call gentrification.
Exactly.
Here we are.
Exactly.
Jean, if you like the first one, I can show you another one. You still trust me?
Oh, more by the minute.
This one, entrance is easier. Okay. We still continue. And if you want, I can give you 2 or 3 words to understand why we have passageways in Lyon.
I've read it was for the silk weavers.
It depends. In fact, it's not in this district. The traboule is really part of the DNA of the city, and we have traboules in different districts built at different times for different purposes. When we are in the old Lyon, it's the best way to save space. The city center is between a hill and a river. We had a lot of construction, and have a look. The best way to save space is to connect buildings each other through the alleyways. And to connect 2 buildings, we have the gallery. And you can see how, with a lot of efficiency, we can save space and have fantastic architecture.
Beautiful.
Beautiful apartments for the wealthy society.
And little balconies or little
Absolutely.
windows. And these are all occupied now.
Absolutely. Alors, you would like to live in a house like that?
I'm not sure.
You have to try. It's an experience.
It would be an experience.
Allez, let's go to the main street.
Good.
Here we are. Main street of the 1500s. You like?
I do, but let's step out of the
okay,
Renaissance
I
for a
know.
minute.
Okay.
I've never seen bread like this, and we smelled it inside.
That's the one. In fact, it's a brioche with praline. Praline is almond and hazelnut with sugar around. So this is something sweet. And the brioche is also with sugar, butter.
Lots of butter.
Yes, and also there's a specific taste. If you want to try, I will invite
I
you to
don't want to just try. I want to buy some.
Okay, let's go. After, you will become addict.
The brioche au praline was as delicious as it looked. Lots of butter, candied almonds, fresh from the ovens. The best guides allow for a slight itinerary change when such treasures beckon, and Christian, who has been guiding for Viking guests for 20 years, is without question one of the very best. We resumed our explorations of the Renaissance streets of Lyon en route to one of the most famous bouchons of Lyon. Lyon is indeed a foodie's heaven, and I was about to taste even more of her specialties. You're going to need to tell me what is the most traditional, but not too adventurous, Lyonnaise for me to order. I'm no Anthony Bourdain.
This is something we know in Lyon, so we like the classic food for the local people, but we know also that sometimes when it's too special, it doesn't work. So we have the right food for you.
Okay, perfect. What would you recommend I order?
For example, to start, fresh eggs in murette with onions, bacon, mushrooms, and croutons. What do you think?
Right up my alley. That
perfect.
sounds delicious, and that's a starter.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
after, I'm quite sure if I say chicken from breast
And the legs.
and the legs.
And this is the finest chicken in
Oh,
France.
definitely.
That
You will
okay.
too.
I
So-
will order that.
Allez, for the
And
chicken.
what are you going to have? And I know you're more adventurous than I am.
Yes, alors for me, I will go to the traditional salad bowl here in Lyon.
Okay.
We have charcuterie, head pork. We have also the lentils, which is a typical salad here. We call the caviar of Lyon because it looks
Lentils.
like caviar, lentils, yes.
Does.
And then the saucisson in a brioche.
We'll see.
Okay.
Oh, of course.
Allez, let's go for this.
And what have they served us as a starter?
You have a little crouton, and inside, don't be shocked, huh? It's silk worker's brain. You still want to try? There's
Well,
no brains.
I
In
know
fact,
you're teasing me, so I
absolutely.
can try
In
it.
fact, it's a kind of fresh cottage cheese, and
wow.
you have inside herbs, garlic, olive oil, and fine herbs.
It looks delicious. I will try it. Thank you.
Tell me. It's good. Garlic.
A little bit like tzatziki.
Yeah, absolutely. It's in the spirit.
Very good.
Good.
Very good.
Excellent.
Let's order.
Allez, let's order.
So our first course is here. I have eggs and mushroom, and the name again of this dish is
It's eggs in murette.
eggs in morette.
Yeah, which is something typical from Lyon and also Burgundy here.
And
And
yours?
for me, it's the typical salad. It's something which is not sophisticated, but very tasty. It's a
Sounds
food
perfect.
very popular here with lentils, with potatoes here, with smoked fish here.
Looks very good.
Yeah, it is here.
While we enjoy this, could you tell me a little bit about the history of the bouchons?
Of course.
And are they only in Lyon?
Yeah, bouchon is only in Lyon. The name of bouchon in French, it's a little bit complex if you don't speak French because bouchon is the cork in a bottle of wine.
Okay.
It's a traffic jam, bouchon, and also it's a typical restaurant in Lyon. And the reason is, when long time ago we saw the district of the Renaissance, in that time people will arrive with horses, and when they get inside the restaurant, before they get to the restaurant, they let the horse outside.
Okay.
Nowadays we have the valet parking for the nice service, but in the past 500 years ago, the nice service for the restaurant consists to clean the horse with straw. And this action of cleaning the horse with straw, we say in French bouchonner. And bouchonner will give the name of bouchon for the typical restaurant.
because they cleaned the horses with
Exactly,
straw
outside.
while the diners ate.
Absolutely, and it's the word bouchonnet is close to bouchon. That's the reason.
Now, how many bouchons are there today in Lyon?
We have a lot, but some of them are not real bouchons. That's why we are in a real one.
Fake bouchon.
I don't like to say that, I will have troubles, but you're right.
We're in Daniel and Denise.
Daniel and Denise. It's one of the best. It belongs to this guild of the official bouchon. We saw the sign outside, you see, and they. When they decide to be part of this guild, they know that they have to respect the tradition. Tradition means good food, good service, not being too sophisticated, but it has to be fresh and good food.
To me, that's perfect. I'm not the fancy Michelin 4-3, but I see they had a Michelin star as well.
Because it's an upgraded bouchon. So you have the tradition and also the knowledge.
But it's a comfortable Michelin star feast.
I
look
agree.
forward to trying it. Bon appetit.
Bon appetit.
Our main courses have arrived. Tell me what you've ordered for me.
This is chicken. Chicken
Nice.
with cream, white wine, and mushrooms as well. You have the morels, and it's the chicken from breast. You remember the one you saw in the market?
Yes.
Without the legs,
Without the head. And what have you ordered
Now,
for
it's
yourself?
the saucisson, but this time it's sliced. Then you can see what we have inside. It's the brioche sliced with the saucisson. Then you have little mushrooms and the sauce with port wine.
Oh, so it's a deconstructed one from what we
Absolutely.
saw in the
Exactly.
market.
Because it's more fancy.
And you ordered frites, but these are not frites.
It's sliced potatoes fried in the fat of the duck, which will give you a very, very good taste. And to do not feel guilty, you have some green salad.
Guilt's beyond at this
Okay.
point, but I need to try the potatoes.
I will do the same because they look very good. I have two.
Oh, they're like a fat, better potato chip. Another. I'm sure there's a more delicate way to serve these. Very good.
Excellent.
I approve
Excellent.
of the bouchon dining. The best parts arrived,
Yes.
and you ordered for us. So I think I've ordered more wine.
Yes, but it's easy to drink because it's a wine grower sorbet. Yeah.
Wine growers sorbet.
Yeah,
I like that.
And you have a blackcurrant ice cream, and you have red white wine with it. And
I've never heard of it.
It's interesting. We have this tradition sometimes when we have a real rich lunch or real rich dinner. This is something we eat between two meals. It
Okay.
helps to be ready to eat more.
To eat
So
the
if
next
you want,
meal.
after that, we can go back to the market.
Sound-
Yes.
I
no,
think
maybe no.
yours is much more. This I'm sure is delicious, but yours looks much more dessert-like.
Yes, it's very traditional. In France, we have this dessert called floating island.
And it is. Sorry, it
Yes,
is floating.
Absolutely, yes. And so it's global warming is coming. Yes. And on the top you have this.
Egg whites poached.
Exactly, it's better.
Okay.
Thank you, because no
Without
English.
the yolk.
Exactly. And as we are in Lyon, we have the praline. You remember the praline and the brioche?
I have bought the
Because we put
praline
praline
brioche.
everywhere. So then we have this red color, the taste of the praline. With the dessert, it works very well.
Can I be rude and take a taste of yours?
Oh, you will not be rude. You are invited to taste
Oh, I
it.
think okay. I'll get a little praline, a
Praline,
little egg,
the
and
egg,
a little
and
of
then-
the
yeah,
river that it's under.
absolutely.
Oh, look, it's
Yeah,
bleeding.
Absolutely. Anna, what do you think?
It's a soft meringue
It's a soft meringue, absolutely.
that helps
It's very
mitigate all
light.
the sweetness.
Yeah, exactly. You have some air in the mouth.
That's delicious.
And then after you have this, now we call English cream here, crème anglaise.
English clear. You'll even give the English credit for it.
Absolutely, and it's really nice. So
Yeah.
we have this, I'm glad you enjoy.
I did. Let me
Good.
try my Vintner's sorbet.
Yeah.
Oh, I could eat this instead of drink wine. This is very, very good. Oh,
Yeah, it's fresh, and you have the taste of the blackcurrant. When we describe a wine, especially by the wine we tried, it's a blackcurrant taste. But here
strongest blackcurrant I've tasted.
You have here the ice cream, and with the wine with it.
Perfect in the middle of the heat wave we've all been enjoying.
Now we are ready for more adventures. We
Good
have the
choices.
energy. Thank you.
Good choices.
Merci.
This is what I asked for. I want to
Okay.
end my shopping spree at
I
the
understand.
Lyonnais Silk. So tell me about the shop you brought me to, and it better be one there's silk to purchase.
Yeah, in fact, it's a pleasure. You will meet here one of the 3 silk workers left.
Three.
There's only 3 workshops left. They do the jacquard system. You will see the punch card, and it's one of the 3 we will go inside. So it's a real authentic silk shop here.
This is what I've really been waiting for all day.
Let me introduce to Romain the next generation of the silk weavers.
Oh, wonderful.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Bonjour Romain.
Bonjour Christian.
Tu connais Jean?
Jean.
Romain.
Romain?
Roma, exactly.
Roma, lovely to meet you. Thank you for
Thank you.
having
Yes.
us in. I've been waiting for silk.
Yes, exactly.
That's really the spot here. Now we are in the shop, but before the shop, I know you want to do some shopping here, and you have the best example, the best sample of the silk. But if you want, let's go behind, and I can show you the loom here.
The workshop.
Oh, I
Here.
would love to.
Yes.
Thank you.
Let's go.
Oh. Wow.
Really nice.
Wow. How old are these looms?
Alors,
Quel âge?
l'atelier, c'est 1820.
Alors, it's 1820 when the workshop was open here.
1820.
Yeah, which was
On va dire ça.
yeah.
Right in this same spot.
Right in the same spot here, absolutely. And here you travel to the 1800. This is, and it's due to the passion of Romain and also his father. Romain, he belongs to the young generation, and his father, Ludovic, start a business here, a business which was very important in Lyon till the end of the 1800s. But then in the 1960s, 1970s, nobody almost wanted to go back to this system because it's very old, and it takes a lot of time
Very
to weave.
difficult.
Very difficult.
Very
and you
difficult.
need a lot of more than passion. And his father had this, and he starts with the first loom, and then something which is really unusual is the young generation, the next generation, continue the job.
Oh, these must be some of the masterpieces.
Absolutely. This
May
is
I?
Yes, yes, yes. Touch.
you can touch.
It's a different technique. This one is a velvet technique. It's very
It's-
long. It's just 2-3 centimeters for one day. the
For
technique
one
of
day.
weaving. For one
Yeah.
day.
2 or 3 centimeters.
Exactly. For weaving. On this technique, the name is brocart.
Oh,
Brocade.
brocade en
Brocade.
anglais.
Silk, gold and silver. It's a mix.
Now, this is what I would imagine
Yep.
if you started in 1820, then Napoleon III and Eugenie would have ordered something like this.
Absolutely, and you can even find that in Versailles as well.
My father.
Your father weaved
Yes.
for
This
Versailles.
one is for Versailles.
And this is a sample
You-
here.
It's
oh, this was it. This is in Versailles.
C'est
now.
Yeah.
c'est posé en tapisserie à Versailles, celui-ci. Oui.
That's a tapestry in Versailles.
Yes.
You're touching Louis XIV this way.
En fait, quand vous avez différentes épaisseurs de velours comme ça peut être fait qu'à la main sur métier traditionnel.
It's
The traditional method.
absolutely
Yes.
because it's not the same thick here. So
And-
when it's very different, it has to be handmade.
So
here.
this is again probably 2 centimeters a
Yes, it's
day.
very long. Et pour faire à Versailles, ça a pris 25 ans pour faire un tissu. Donc ça a été
Now,
Yeah.
did you have the designs files from when the shop opened in the 1820s? Are those files all kept for every design? So,
In fact, for example, because it's as there's very few workshop left, he will work mainly with castle historical monuments, and they have already the design, and they will
So
reproduce
the exact
same
design
pattern, yes.
that would have been there under one of the Louis, if not 14, 15, or
yeah.
16.
Yeah.
It looks very Madame Pompadour to
Mais il y a
me.
40 000
Exactly, it
châteaux et
is.
monuments historiques, donc
Yeah.
il y a plein de trucs à faire.
In fact, there's a potential for the family because you have in France more than 40,000 castle and historical monuments. So potentially there's a lot of clients here.
It's exquisite.
Yeah.
It really is.
Now you are becoming the silk weaver.
I won't touch and mess up,
No,
but they would sit here
exactly.
and
In fact, you have the program which is on the top. It's a punch card which is here. In fact, the punch card is the computer before electricity. It's something which was invented in 1804 in Lyon, and the punch card is the program of the pattern, which is connected to the frames. On the frames, you have the hooks. And this program is already made before the silk weaver will start the weaving. And before this punch card, you have something which is somewhere in the workshop, which is here. You have the design in the paper. So you have first the design in the paper.
First the design, so
Exactly.
the artist designs.
And then after each line of this paper will become a punch card.
Oh, and
Okay?
then this.
And then it's unlimited. It's just unlimited.
And then your father would have been here,
Yeah, and in fact-
putting the loom in and pulling this back.
You're already professional because it's exactly how it works. And here, as you are not able to make a mistake. In the other one, you can because you can come back. But here, you will cut the systems. So, in fact, you have here the little piece of metal which will create something thicker, and then you will weave on the top of it. And when you have this, you will cut in the middle with a knife,
Small loop.
and it creates the velvet.
Oh, so you fluff it up.
Yeah.
It's very
The velvet is a technique here.
It is, and I never knew.
Depuis le 16e siècle, on fait le velours à Lyon.
And it's a technique from the 1500 here.
So they would stand here with this loom for
Exactly.
10, 12 hours a day.
Easily. Yeah, in the 1850s, you have about 70,000 looms in this area.
And that was before the silk plague.
The silk plague. It was a problem which was solved by Pasteur
Okay.
here. But then, at the end of the 1800s, there's an evolution of the fashion. Then after people they didn't want to wait so long to have silk. Then after World War I, then after you have the industrial and the artificial silk. And it was the end of this tradition till people as Romain decided to come back to the process. And you have here this. It's a typical workshop, but the thing which is sometimes difficult to imagine is the workshop was the apartment at the same time here. So you live,
So you lived here,
and
you
you
had
work
your loom.
in the same spot with your family, which makes sense.
And they're cooking and
Exactly. And also you lived and you work with your apprentice.
and most families would have just had one loom.
Alors, it depends. You can one
deux,
or
trois,
two or
ouais.
three
One, two,
max.
three.
C'est des
Yeah.
petits ateliers comme ça, oui.
It's
It's the DNA.
It's the DNA.
The silk is really important for us, and we have the chance to still have people as the family of Romain fascinated by this history, and they continue the story. That's for us. It's a big luck here.
Well,
We are
to me,
fortunate.
this is more meaningful, much more meaningful than seeing the Eiffel Tower. This speaks to me of the people who lived in the past and the life they lived.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been in search of, and you've shown it to me. This is exquisite. And to see the fabric and the design for Versailles,
Yeah.
it's beyond belief for me. I'm touching history. I'm
Perfect.
learning how you beautifully preserve it, and I hope I thank you for doing it. After learning about the history of silk weaving and viewing many historic patterns, I had to purchase my own treasures. I rarely buy souvenirs on my travels, but to me, these silks were more than a souvenir. They were part of preserving history. The silk weaving history of Lyon may be an intangible cultural heritage according to UNESCO, but my silks were a very tangible reminder of a wonderful visit. We ended our day with Christian at the Basilica Notre-Dame de Fauvières, which dominates the skyline of Lyon. It was built high atop the Fauvières Hill to commemorate the end of the Franco-Prussian War and to rival Sacré-Cœur in Paris, which was constructed at the same time. Most architectural historians would agree they only succeeded in rivaling Paris's masterpiece in that both are built on a hill. Still, it is a must-visit for its sheer size and the unparalleled views of all of Lyon. A very fitting ending for a full day of discoveries in this beautiful city. Christian, thank you so much. You've really shared the DNA of the city with us, your DNA. And even beyond the shopping, it's been a fabulous visit. I can't thank you enough for all you did for us, but for all of our Viking guests for 20 years.
My pleasure, Jean. It was a real pleasure. It was such nice to spend the day with you, and it's always a pleasure to welcome visitors. So yeah, we are pleased to show them the city, and it's a real pleasure for us to do this job.
They're all going to want Christian.
Oh, merci.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, merci beaucoup.
Thank
you
you,
very much.
sir. Good morning. This is our second day in Lyon, and we've driven out into the countryside, just a half an hour from where the ships docked in the center of the city. We have come to Beaujolais country, and not even half a mile behind me is Burgundy. So we're going to be exploring the world of wine today, but much more. And I'm very excited to meet our guide, who is going to share a very special perspective on winemaking and women and their rise in the wine industry and in all the industries here around this beautiful Beaujolais region. Perrine, I'm so excited to be with you today to share your passion for strong women, probably strong wine as well.
Also, oui.
Tell me what we're going to see.
So this morning we will see the windmill first. We are just done the windmill.
Tell me about it. Is it a working windmill?
Not anymore. It was a working windmill in Middle Ages. It was built in the 15th century, and it is well preserved because it gave the name to this wine area in Beaujolais. One of the appellations is the Moulin à Vent, which is windmill in English. So that's why it is well maintained and protected, listed as a part of the national heritage, and it was restored in 1999. They restored the mechanism inside, even if we don't use it anymore, and also the sails in front.
Oh, it's beautiful. So when I see a wine bottle of Beaujolais that has the windmill, I'll know I've been there.
Yes, exactly.
Wonderful. So where else are you going to take us?
So then we will go to the goats farm to meet Marion.
Looking forward to the goats.
Yes, she's going to be explaining how it works on her goat farm. She's producing also the cheeses on the farm, and this is an organic farm. So she's trying to work the most natural way possible there.
It sounds like a wonderful day. We'll toast strong women before and after.
Yes.
But first, on to the goats?
Yes, let's go to the goats.
I look forward to it all. Thank you for joining us and showing us your passion for this wonderful region.
Yeah, it will be a good day.
You told me we've now crossed into Burgundy, very close to each other. Tell me the significance of where we are now.
So right now we are in the southern part of Burgundy called the Mâconnais area. And the Mâconnais area is also the part of the production of Pouilly Fuissé. And just behind us we see the rock of Solutré, and the Pouilly Fuissé is produced all around here. And it became famous in the US after Jackie Kennedy had some Pouilly Fuissé at the White House.
She introduced so much French to the country, but Pouilly Fuissé is a very popular wine now, and so it's right here.
Yeah, and it's all, the rock is all surrounded by Chardonnay grapes all around, and it is on a limestone soil, and this rock in fact was sculpted by the streams of the sea when we were under the sea here 175 million years ago.
170. It's very distinctive here and very beautiful spot.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, thank you. Now I know where it comes from when I'm drinking. That is one we drink quite often.
Yeah, it's a good white wine. Yes.
Thank you. Onwards.
Allez, let's go to the goats.
We've crossed back into Beaujolais, but we're a little bit out of wine country. And Perrine has brought us to an organic goat farm to meet an organic goat farmer or farm woman, part of the strong women of Beaujolais. Let's meet them now. Marion, bonjour.
Bonjour, hello.
Hello. Tell us a little bit about your goats.
Alors, j'élève une soixantaine de chèvres sur une surface de 40 hectares en agriculture biologique.
So she's having around 60 goats on 40 hectares, which is around 95 acres, in an organic farm. So she's the only farmer here, so she's doing everything
all by herself.
Exactly. Yes. So giving birth to the babies, it will be a bit later next February, and then she's milking goats, she's transforming the milk in cheese and selling on local markets also the cheeses.
I'm glad you have 5 minutes or 10 for us today, because I'm sure you can't spare the time. Can we go in and meet the goats? Does she know them by name? Do you know them?
Est-ce que tu les connais par leur nom? Est-ce que tu leur as donné un nom?
Elles n'ont pas toutes des noms, mais on les connaît quand même toutes.
They don't all get a name, but she knows all of them.
Personally, yes.
Yes.
Hi. They're very tame. Hey, guys. Bonjour. Hi. Oh. Say, who's this American? How often do you have to milk the goats for the cheese?
Alors, la traite, ça prend environ donc 1 heure tous les matins, donc pour traire les 60 chèvres.
Okay, so she's milking goats in the morning, and it takes around 1 hour to milk the 60 goats.
1 hour every day to milk all 60.
And so she's milking goats 10 months every year, because there's 2 months in December and January. December and January, when they are pregnant, they are not producing any more milk for the 2 last months.
They're very tame, obviously, which I love.
Yeah. After she milks the goats, and if she doesn't get to a local farmer market, she is going to transform the milk in cheese in the laboratory just beside.
Which we look forward to seeing after we go with them in the field. Although I feel like I'm getting hugged by them all, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I didn't know they were so affectionate.
Yes.
Hey guys.
You can see they are living very well here.
Very, very
really cool.
Happy. Who's back here? Up, goat poop. Wrong shoes. Hey, look who's out. Oh, they listen to you.
Toi, elle t'écoute? More or less.
This way, gentlemen. Ah! Allez-y. They don't listen to me. They follow the path. They followed the path when there was no fences. Our strong Marion has really trained her goats beautifully. I don't know how far we're going, but they know. Oh, they knew where to turn. You're the shepherd, I'm the shepherdess, and our shepherd are taking us wherever they want, with some big horns behind us. I'm herding them. Am I the dog that's herding? I have no idea what we're doing. Okay, I'm gonna try stopping, seeing if it's me or them. Oh, it was me. It was me. I'm a border collie. After communing with the goats out in the pasture, we're going to taste their cheeses here that Marion has made herself, and I look forward to tasting, looks like 3 varieties. Tell us about the cheeses.
So on the plate you have the 3 same cheeses at 3 stages, 3 different stages.
Okay.
Donc le premier, le bien blanc, c'est un fromage frais.
Can we
Yeah, on peut l'enlever,
Oui,
c'est
oui,
bon?
oui.
Ouais.
swap flies?
So the white one here is a really fresh cheese. 48 hours after milking goats, you've got a fresh cheese.
Okay.
And this one was aged in a dryer to lose water and to get even more concentrated. And you see the last one, it is 3 mois?
Non, un mois et demi,
1 mois, 1 month and a half, 2 months old, and this is a really dry cheese, and you see all the different moistures, fungus around developed.
That will give it more deeper flavor.
Exactly.
Yes.
Ah, thank you. And tell us about the wine that we're going to be drinking today. Beaujolais Blanc.
Beaujolais
Yes.
blanc Saint-Amour, ouais, t'en parleras mieux que moi ça.
Saint-Amour, so this is a Chardonnay wine, and this one was made in the northern part of Beaujolais, and this is a young, fruity wine, and it goes perfectly with the goat cheese because it's not too much elaborated, which is good. It's just a minerality, a fruitiness, and it's perfect.
I trust your pairing. Should we go? Should we
Yes.
enjoy? Should I
Yes.
pour?
Yes, you can. Pour the wine. On laisse Jean
Ouais.
servir le vin.
Oh,
Est-ce
it
que tu
looks
veux couper
beautiful color.
Les fromages. Yes.
Ah, oui.
And with a piece of cheese, it will be perfect.
So first we taste the youngest,
Yes.
le plus jeune.
Yeah.
Comme le vin.
Like wine.
Uh-huh.
You start by the youngest one to the oldest one.
Wonderful. Should I start?
Yes.
Le plus jeune. It is very good. Very light, mild. So I petted the goats that were milked for this.
Yeah. Elle a caressé les chèvres qui ont produit ce
Voilà,
fromage-là. Yes.
exactement.
I
Yes.
know the cheese intimately.
Oui, c'est très bon.
I love that one. It's much
It's
stronger.
my favorite.
In the middle.
Yes.
The middle, that is so far. I've never tasted that at home, that level of flavor. And that was wonderful. I'll hold my judgment until the last one, but I think that's my favorite. So this is the most aged.
Yes.
Ah, to waste this cheese, it hurts. Oh, lucky dog. Okay, I'll be more careful. Very hard.
Yes.
It's good, very good, but I like the second. Very strong. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
sharing your life and your farm. I wish we could stay much longer, but thank you. I've had a very good taste of organic farm and strong women.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. May I steal the last of the second one?
Elle peut prendre le dernier
Oh,
morceau?
oui, bien
Oui.
sûr.
Ah, ça c'est le meilleur.
Ouais.
Oui.
Cheers.
Cheers. Santé.
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 Santé. Merci
Santé.
beaucoup.
Santé.
I'd been looking forward to our visit to a goat farm since the beginning of the trip. I knew it would be off the beaten path, not your typical shore excursion, and I adore animals. But this visit far surpassed even my high expectations. I had heard about the group Strong Women of Beaujolais. I learned what that meant as I followed Marion on her daily rounds. 60 goats, milked every day, 95 acres to maintain, cheese making, and as if that wasn't impressive enough, she's a new mother of a 3-month-old baby, and she does it all by herself. As a side note, I also realized that I might not have what it takes to be a goat farmer, but I might win awards as a stand-in border collie herding the goats. It was a wonderful morning.
What a place to end our journey. But before I say any more, I don't want you to miss this view of Beaujolais. It's breathtaking. I know I've overused that word on this trip, but there's just not any other way to describe it. But it has been quite a journey, and unexpected, even though I studied up and read the itinerary. The Rhone Valley had so much to offer. We began in Avignon, and on the first day, we tasted olive oil in a family farm that had been harvesting olives for 5 generations. We learned their family's history, their heritage. Then into Avignon, into the city, the Palais de Pape, which is a centerpiece and a UNESCO World Monument. And it was fantastic, but our guide was even better because beyond the dates, beyond the histories of the papacy there, we learned about the people who worked there, what they grew in the garden, how that helped them, the medicinal uses. It was magnificent. We visited 3 world-famous vineyard areas. We started in Châteauneuf-du-Pape. We visited and hiked through the Hermitage, Shiraz grapes, and we're now in Beaujolais and 4. We briefly were in Burgundy. So we've learned a lot about the wines and what they require and the different tastes, so quite the wine education for me. But I think one of the highlights came in the middle, and that was the Ardèche region that I'd never been to, didn't know a lot about, but because of our enchanting guide, who you will adore when you come here, Frances. We fell in love with it. It's a beautiful region, and her hometown, where she lives in the center of Viviers, is a medieval gem that you walk down the streets and relive medieval times. From there, we went to Vienne, which again, I wasn't familiar with, and I knew it had Roman ruins. I didn't know I'd be able to walk alone on a Roman street, to sit in an amphitheater in the VIP seats where maybe one of the Caesars sat. It's a treasured moment that could never happen in Rome or Pompeii or Herculaneum. It transporting, mesmerizing, fantastic. Walking on that Roman street alone with daily life going on around me, took me back to Roman times. And then we ended in Lyon. We had a wonderful day yesterday of tasting all the tastes that make Lyon the food capital that it is today, and it has been. We learned why it was the food capital, and it was fun exploring the variety of foods and taste. We met the silk weaver's son, who had reinvigorated the industry using the antique mills, antique looms, and we got to touch those looms, learn how difficult it is to make them, and do a little too much shopping with the scarves that you'll probably see in the future. And today, we're in Beaujolais. We are learning about Beaujolais wines. We're learning about goats, chèvre, but most of all, thanks to our wonderful guide, Perrine, and the people she's introducing us to, we're learning about strong women. The strong women that are running things in Beaujolais, running many of the wineries, running this entire goat farm. And it's refreshing to see and meet them and learn about their lives. The moments I'll take away are not the big moments. It wasn't walking up to the Palais. It's the people we met and what we learned from them about their passions, what they taught us about their knowledge. It was those small moments that made the biggest memories and have made this one of the most unveiling tours to me. It unveiled a region I didn't know was so rich and so many treasures, but virtually undiscovered by travelers. So I've been mesmerized. I look forward to coming back to this region. I'm really going to come back to Frances to learn her life story a little more, but I hope someday I'll see you on board one of the cruises, either on ocean and river. But thanks for joining me on this one and learning along with me and my friends. A bientôt.